Hi, my name is Nick Guajardo. I'm a local business owner here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I work in the hospitality business. I work in restaurants and in the boutique hotel industry throughout Mexico and in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And one of the points I'm going to be covering in this short little video is the importance of culture. One, how to establish culture, why culture is important, and how does that help your business grow? Well, I'll give you a quick example. Working in the restaurant industry specifically, culture is absolutely necessary. One of the things that plays into culture is customer service, the way our employees treat our guests, right? So if a guest comes in and they have a bad attitude, or maybe they've had a long day, one of the things we live by as a business is we don't know what people are walking in the door with. So our goal is to improve their day by 1%, right? So if you're a funny person, this is your chance to be funny. If you're a good if you're not funny and you're more shy, this is where we challenge our people to observe and be a noticer and to be detail oriented when people walk in, so they can see and compliment their shoes or maybe their makeup or what they're wearing or whatever the case may be, their purse. The goal is to enhance and improve someone's day, right? And so that's one of the ways we start to establish culture for our guests when they walk in. But how does that work with our team and our employees? The only way we see that working, and that we've seen it work for all the businesses we've owned, is valuing your people. When you value your people, when you know them on a deep personal level, when you know their children's name, when you know their wife's name or their husband's name or what they're going through, and that you back their play and back them up in what they're going through with life, that starts to naturally enhance culture, right? But that takes, from you as a business owner, that takes a level of leadership, and that takes a level of self-discipline and a level of self-awareness to be able to do that. Why is that so important? That begins when your people not only feel valued, but they know they are valued. They will start in turn. You can set goals, you can set milestones, you can set expectations of the way you want your future atmosphere of, whether that's your home, your store, your restaurant, your car, whatever the case may be. You can start to set the tone of what that future atmosphere will be like and what it will feel like, and why that's so important. One of the biggest compliments we get in our restaurant is we will have, maybe 1,000 people a day. They'll come in, and majority of people that come in, the first thing they say, they'll walk in and say, there's a feeling in here and I just like the feeling. It makes me feel good. Well, that has to do with culture. Customer service, absolutely crucial. So if you're working in Young Living and you're working in the network marketing industry, affiliate marketing, relationship marketing, that is the way, this is where you step in and how do you treat your team? How do you coach your team? Maybe you're not sure, maybe you're insecure, you're not sure what steps to take or what to do. This is a perfect opportunity for you to step in and take that first step and start setting weekly meetings with your team, saying, hey team, this is the vision I have. This is the vision I have. This is what I want our mission to be. This is what I want us to do. And this is what our motto is going to be, right? And you start to get people in the same wavelength, speaking the same type of language, whatever that language is for you. So for example, for us in our business, we have a cultural assessment for people that we give to every employee that comes in. And we just have a very simple format of what we want and what we don't want, right? So people know what kind of attitude and what kind of character and what kind of energy to bring in when they come into their shift. And for example, we want people of urgency. We want people of alertness. We want people that are upbeat. The opposite of these three things are sluggishness, sleepiness, grouchiness, right? How many times have you been into a restaurant, or you've gone to get your nails done, or you go to a church, or you go somewhere and people are just not on their A game? You feel like you might be overstepping boundaries. You might be making people, ruining someone's day. You start to feel these kind of emotions. This is one of the things we really communicate more through body language, right? So this is where we always tell our staff smiling is absolutely necessary, right? You always have to smile. You're working, you smile while you work. As you're talking, you're nodding your head. When someone's speaking, you're talking, you're listening. These are little details and little things that help add on to what culture can be. And this is for you as a leader to start stepping into. Body language. When you're listening to someone, if someone's talking, shaking your head, agreeing, smiling, listening, asking more questions, right? With your team, challenging your team, asking your team to challenge you, you challenging your team. What can we do? This is what my vision is. What can we do to start to fulfill this vision? Get them on the same playing field as you when you start to establish this culture. But the reason why, especially in network marketing, culture is so important is that there's a lot of people that are coming in that have maybe not started or ran a business ever in their life, right? So there's going to be some serious coaching, some serious leadership development, and they're going to look to you as the person, the uplink that signs them up. They're going to look to you for that. So if that's something that you're still in training or you might not be that quite comfortable with, this is where you go to your uplink and you start to work as a team and you start to develop yourself. But setting that culture to where you know that anyone on your team can ask questions and there's no shame around it. And then that they know that they can be developed and that when they come in, that there's high energy. That's one thing we've learned working in the hotel and restaurant industry is people are attracted to energy. People are attracted to good energy, high energy, happy energy, people that make jokes and then they might look silly, but it doesn't affect them. People love that. It creates an environment where people can start to think creatively and step outside of their own box. So a few action steps when establishing your culture playbook, okay? So this is what we've worked with when we've worked on establishing our culture for our restaurants and our hotels. Your culture playbook is how we do what we do. So how you do what you do. So if you're in the industry, if you're working in Young Living, for example, you're working in the essential oil industry, how do you do what you do? The culture playbook will help map this out. You want to have a playbook overview. The playbook overview is going to capture your vision for not just your business, but for your life. So map out and detail a vision for where you want to be financially, relationally, future family, with your personal, whatever case that may be. Map out what your vision is for your personal life. Tie that into your professional, into your Young Living business. What is your vision for your Young Living business? What does that look like? What is your mission? Okay. What is your motto around that mission? So for example, with Tacos by Mezcal, one of our local restaurants here, our mission is to serve people into smiling. It has nothing to do with food. Our goal is to improve and increase people's day, right? Why? Because you can go to any restaurant and get good food. But when you remember the restaurants that made you feel better about your day, better about yourself, better about your whole, hour, that little moment you come in to eat and you have a server or a bartender, someone that increases and helps improve your day, that's something that people remember. And it's about helping people remember that. So establish your vision, establish your mission, establish your motto. And then you want to get a strategy down and some leadership standards. So for example, under your vision, you want to have a vision. For example, one of our visions is taking people from smacking at the table to smiling out the door, right? So that's the action. They're smacking at the table, the food is delicious, to they're smiling at the door. So think of a vision that you can kind of place some actions to for your Young Living business, right? Maybe you can say, we want people to come in and maybe they come in dealing with certain sicknesses and they want to leave with hope. They want to leave with a natural way of healing, whatever that could be. You want to establish that vision for your culture. And then other thing you want to do is do your mission. Your mission is what you do, right? And then your motto is how you say it. So you want to have your mission down. What do you do? And then how do you say it? And that's how you start to establish your culture with your team. But you have to be the first mover in that, the first leader in that. This is what we do as a team. This is our standard as a team. And this is how we communicate. This is what we say. And then you want to get a strategy assessment down. In that strategy assessment, you want to understand, right here we have, for our business, we have excellence, energy, and economics. Excellence, what we do exceptionally well. What do you do exceptionally well for your Young Living business? Are you better with connecting with new potential customers? Are you better at the team building side of it? Are you better at demonstrating it online on how the products work? Find where you work really well. What do you work excellent in? Also, what energizes you? What's like, is it acquiring new customers that energizes you? Is it the business itself? Is it the mission of the business you're involved in? Find what energizes you within this business, and then what drives the economic engine. So for my understanding, it's going to be customers, and it's going to be building the team, right? So selling product and building your team. So find where your sweet spot in that is, because there's some people that love to get customers and they'll build their customer base all day, and some people that love to build the team side of things. But find where that fits in your strategy assessment, and then set your leadership standards. For example, you want to find people that lean into conflict. You want to find people that make it fun, that own it, and they don't blame it. It's your problem. It's my problem, and it's no one else's problem. You want people that take responsibility and ownership over what they do, right? And so this is what people need to see in you before they can start to model it out themselves, working under you if you're the leader of the organization. And then you just want to have a good culture assessment of pros of this is what we want, this is how we do things, this is not how we do things. For example, you want people that tell the truth. You don't want gossip and lying in your organization. You want people that are decisive. You don't want to have to deal with hesitancy. You want people that are excellent in what they do. You don't want sloppiness. You want intentionality in everything. You don't want passivity. And there's a list of things you can add to that, but you kind of map out of what we want and what we don't want for the future of our culture. And remember, culture is judged by the way people feel when they walk into the room. They hear the verbiage, they hear the speech of your team, they get a feeling. And that's how a lot of people will describe it, as a good feeling, right? And you want to give people that good feeling through good communication, cohesiveness with your team. One thing to remember as a leader for your organization is be able to be comfortable and be good with the type of leader you are. There's all kinds of different leaders out there. There's people that are more vocal, people that are a little more quiet, people that like to stay behind the scenes, people that like to lead out in front. Find where you fit within that. But one thing to think about when you're building your team, building your culture, and building your organization is that you are now a business owner. Don't view this as a hobby. This is a business that you have the opportunity of running. And there's two ways you can build your business. Is one, through customers, right? You get people using the amazing product you have. They get to try it out. When you start to share this with people, convict them on it. Get them engaged on it. Give. It's always good to give people free product to try, to get kind of to test it out and stuff. But then also the other side of it is you got the customer side using the product, but you also have people the people for you building the team, right? Now the team part is going to be really important, because when you start to establish and build your team, these are the people you're going to be surrounded with more often than not, right? And know that you can definitely do this. If you're more shy and you're more quiet, that's totally okay. And if you're more talkative and you're maybe a little more loud and you can take over a room, that's awesome as well. But practice being self-aware. Practice bringing your team on your side of the table. For example, ways to do this is you could set a meeting and be like, guys, I have this idea. I have this vision. I would like to get X amount of new people on our team. I would like to get X amount of new customers. Let's brainstorm. Let's do some creative ideas on how we can build this team. Lucy, what can I do to help you build your team? Be a servant leader. Jim, what can I do to help you to build your team? What's your vision? What's your mission for your business? Your job with your team is to take care of your people. Find out what they're wanting to accomplish. Are they wanting more money? Are they wanting more time freedom? Are they just wanting to get healthier? And then you focus and you zoom in on that. Exactly what they're trying to accomplish. That will build trust. That will build a lot of reliability. People will bend over backwards for that, because you'll be a leader that they can trust.